Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is the 27th day of April 2022. It is Thursday of the second week of Easter, the 12th day of Easter. Coming to you this morning from Magnolia Circle, here by the far end of our school, the Franciscan school. Come all the way around. The log cabin is there, and then there is the driveway that leads down to our chapel, where again we will be assembling for daily mass beginning on Monday, 9 o'clock. So back into the chapel, thankfully, after so many years, 2.5 years of being outside of it because of the pandemic. So on this glorious morning here in Carolina, again, another cool morning, thankfully, and not the heat that we had at the beginning of the week. We here continuing the Acts of the Apostles. The Apostles, again, yesterday escaped from prison through the efforts of an angel sent by God. They are preaching in the temple area, and guards come to bring them back again to the leadership, who is again questioning and furious why they are preaching about this Jesus of Nazareth, who they say, again, died and is a fantasy and did not rise, and et cetera, et cetera. Why would they keep doing that? And again, the apostles are firm and courageous in their statement that they have to do this, because if they do not do this, again, it'll burn inside of them. It will not. It is something that the world needs to hear, even if the world is resistant to it, even if the world does not want to hear this good news and the hope, again, the life of this Savior brought and continues to bring to humanity. It needs to succeed. It needs to take root. It needs to thrive. It needs to grow. Again, the sense of resistance always, to what it is that the gospel is trying to tell us and trying to help us understand. Getting over the terrible obstacle that Jesus rose from the dead, and thinking that is just too good to be true, also begins to infect everything that Jesus stands for and everything that Jesus taught and preached. We all just think it's too good to be true. And so it's a nice fantasy, it's a nice idea, but it will never come to anything that has purpose or anything that will be able to affect or transform our human lives. And that is all a lie. This good news has to be preached. It has to be lived. It has to be embodied. It has to be embraced. Because if it is not, then everything is a lie, and there is no hope for humanity. And what the gospel says, what the life of Jesus of Nazareth, what his resurrection says, again, is that we do have a destiny. We do have a future. We have dignity, value, and worth beyond our imagining. We just need to embrace it and not fear embracing it and believing in it. The encounter with Nicodemus continues in John's gospel today, again, which Jesus stresses these same kinds of things. That again, God does not ration God's spirit in the world, but tries to give it in so many places, so that this good news of hope, of life, of health, of holiness, of wholeness can be experienced and lived and embraced by all of humanity. Again, God does not come to a special few. God does not come just to chosen people. God comes to all people, to all creation, again, to help to renew the face of the earth, to allow this earth to become what it is that God intended it to be from the very beginning, and what we have to make sure that we are contributing towards. Our resistance, our disbelief, our doubt, whatever it is, gets in the way of the fulfillment of God's promises. We become the obstacles in being able to see the fulfillment of what God says we deserve and what God has planned for us. Let us not stand in the way of that. Let us be open, like those doors were opened to the apostles from that prison, and from which they came forth to continue preaching the good news. Let us be open to everything that God may reveal to us in this Easter season of hope and life and wholeness. Believe in it, live it, and see what joy it brings us and those we encounter. A blessed Easter, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord continue to give you his peace.